Hi there, it's Connie-Rae. Welcome to today's crafty project. Today's craft project is this gorgeous Christmas greeting card. I wasn't quite sure what to call it then. All I know is that I love it. This is a normal Christmas card, and I will be sending this out to my friends and family because it's just really beautiful. And you know, usually every year I try to make something pretty special to send out to my family and friends because they know I make cards, and if I send out one that's not very nice, I'm sure they're going to think what's wrong with me. So this is the card that I will be doing, so I thought I'd share it with you. Well, to start with, we are going to be needing obviously your card front, a couple of pieces of cardstock, Whisper White, thick Whisper White. This is the stamp set that we'll be using, which is the Christmas Gleaming. And as you know, we have, oh, this is a bundle, and it comes with these two punches. You've got, which fits in with these two, for the big one, that one, and the little one here. And I'm using this sentiment here. We'll be doing some embossing as well, because it just looks gorgeous with the embossing. So that's the stamp set that we'll be using. I've also, the card fronts are cut out using our stitched rectangle dies, and it's the largest die in the set. And you cut the front out, obviously, cut one out. And we also use our subtle, 3D subtle, what is it, 3D subtle embossing folder. So what I do is, with this one, because it's very soft, cut out using the die, the size that I'm going to be using, pop it in and run it through, and that's it. If you're using an embossing folder that's got a lot of dimension on it, you would cut it first and then emboss it, if that's how you were going to go. Some of your cutting kind of doesn't look as obvious, but it's there. I can't, yeah, but when you emboss it, it will flatten out a bit. So, but I like the look, it's quite nice. As you can see on this one, I think you can see it. Yeah, it's very soft, it's lovely, a little bit of texture on it. So first of all, we will do some embossing. So I've already set up my piece of paper. You just need a thick Whisper White scrap there, and some Versamark and some embossing powder. Your embossing buddy. So we're going to be going all around with the embossing buddy and getting rid of any dust and bits and pieces, because it does help with our embossing. And I have got to take the top off that. I have chosen this pattern here out of the set. I liked this one. This was my favourite, but this one seemed to come up better. I don't know why. I liked it better. Who knows? Probably because I couldn't come up with a design. I don't know. It took me forever to figure out something with this one, because I'm a perfectionist and I love it to look beautiful. So, you know, these things that us perfectionists go through. So I'm going to do two of these. So I'm going to use my Stampin'Up and do two. Using our Versamark, make it nice and sticky, because that's what Versamark does, so that our embossing powder can stick to it. And then you can't see this obviously because it's invisible, but you know it was there, and you'll see that it's there in a second. Just pop this back out of the way, and some silver embossing powder, pop that out of the way. Look, just got it all over my desk, and you know how I dislike that. Murphy's Law, always. And, oh, that's because I'm rushing, you see. If I didn't rush, I would be fine. So there you go. You can see how gorgeous that is. Such a lovely shape. So, sorry, such a lovely design. I'm just going to put a bit more over to make sure I've got all my bits. So there you go. Nice and embossed, ready for... it's not embossed, ready to be embossed. I'm just going to put this down here and shake off that excess that I've spilt. Oh gosh, you know, I hate that. I always do it. Okay. Now I'll heat up my tool gun, my heat gun. So you really do want your heat gun to be very hot to make this work effectively. I can't do it on the paper here because it actually, oh, I might be able to do it on the top of the Stampin'Up. Let me see, without melting it. Yeah, I might be able to put it on there and see. So while my gun's heating up, because I like it to be really hot, because when you bring it to your piece, you should be able to just slowly move across it as it embosses. You don't want to hold it there waiting, because you will over melt it or under melt it. So you just want to be able to have it really, really hot, start at the top and move your way down. You can do one at a time, or you can probably do two at a time. It's entirely up to you which way you go. But once it starts to catch, slowly bring it forward just at that pace, and you'll see it change. So if I can get it to change here while I'm doing it, that'll be good if you can see it. Yep. Okay. So let's see how we go, shall we? There we go. See how it's starting to change? So I'm just going to move it across. Look, I haven't got my angle right. There we go. And just straight up. Let the heat do the work for you, rather than having to move the gun. Can you see that? I don't know if you could see that very successfully, but we'll do the other one. I'll try and bring it into focus for you. But I need to see it too. There we go. Alright, moving it across. Keep it moving. Oh, sorry. There we go. Ugh. Nice, huh? So, embossing takes practice, but it's beautiful. Certainly worth the effort. So I will punch these out with our big punch. These are fantastic. Great. You don't have to trim or fussy cut. You just punch it out and away you go. One. Oh, bit of muscle. There we go. Two. Okay, so we've got those done. Now the other thing I've done is I've got some linen thread and I've tied some bows off camera, because it just doesn't work when you're on the camera. And what you need to do is just grab your pick tool and grab a little glue dot. Roll your little glue dot in half. Just roll it into this tiny little sausage. Tiny, 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 so you can't see it. And pop it here on... Whoop. Okay, so we're going to pop it right there. So you won't be able to see it. Then we're going to get our little bow. I'm trying to move that down. You can roll it around a bit too once you've got it on there, so that you don't see it if you haven't got it quite placed. It's a little bit fiddly, but you know, it's worth it. How hot is it? Oh my gosh. And all the bushfires. I hope all these people that are affected by the bushfires are okay. Australia has such bad bushfires. Okay, so I've got that little bow on with the linen thread, as you can see. And I'll do another one. Again, just grab a little glue dot, roll it into a little sausage, and pop it on top of that part there, just so you can still see the top part of the actual bobble. And again, probably the other thing I would have used is maybe a silver thread, but I didn't have any, so I've got some on order, or some about to be ordered, and some of the actual, this one as well. But the silver thread, I don't know, I've sort of gotten used to this one, so I kind of like it this way. I might just trim those just a fraction. And you can still move them around too if you're not happy with the way that they look. So that's your little bobbles prepared. And the other thing we want to do is we need to get our silver glimmer paper. And with the silver glimmer paper, look at that, so sparkly. Yes, the silver glimmer paper, sorry, I got carried away with the sparklies then. You need this die. This die is out of the Itty Bitty Christmas die set. And it's this gorgeous leafy looking cut. Isn't it beautiful? You could use this for so many things. You could, like, this silver glitter paper is absolutely adorable. Goes through the machine so well. So you need to cut out one of those for each card, however many you're making. You can put 2 on if you want. And then we're going to pop that on the top here. Now I used glue. You could use the tiny, yeah, you could, but no, I'd stick to using glue, I think. So just on the places where you can't see it, but only a bit. You don't want it squeezing out over the sides. Just a little bit on places that you cannot see. And if you put enough down, like a little bit on each leaf and that, it will certainly stick, because we know Tombow is really good. It will stick just about anything. So, okay. So I've got that placed strategically. Let me have a look at my card, because I wanted it to hang down a little bit. So, ew, glue. I wanted it to hang down and look kind of whimsical. So I don't know if I achieved that, but I think I did. There we go. And just glue that flat down. And it won't take much. You know, I always, whenever I touch glue, I have to wash my hands with the Dettol hand sanitizer, because it's the only thing that removes gluey bits. Okay, so we've got that down. Oh, I forgot to do our Christmas label. We might as well do the embossing for the Christmas label as well. I'll do that now to get that out of the way. So we'll just remove our little bobble and bring in our sentiment, which is off the same set. Silly me, I should have done it earlier, but that's okay. Now this one is a very solid sentiment in terms of embossing, so it looks really actually quite nice. And I liked it in silver, so I thought, oh, okay, just want to make sure that's centered really well. Sorry, my head's in the way. Okay. Of course, we're going to use our embossing buddy again. And our Versamark. I was just thinking I might want to... Whoop. I just saw a little bit of stuff on there and I just didn't want that to transfer. Seems to have grabbed really well, so we'll just put our strip out. Again, this is thick whisper white. I always prefer to use thick whisper white on my crafting projects because it is the better one, I think, to use. So we might need to just hold that with something and use our heat gun again. Look at those shadows. You can tell that the shadows, I haven't got my lighting right again. It takes forever. I love my craft stuff. I'm really not good with the technical stuff though. Alright, that should be hot enough. So if I just, oh, you know what? I'm such a sausage. It'd be good if I put some embossing powder on it, wouldn't it? Okay. Let's try this again. That's funny. There we go. Merry Christmas. Oh my gosh, it's so funny. All right, just leave that. Let's try this again. There you go. The light's probably a little bit too much, but you can see that it just comes up really well. I might just give it another run because it is quite thick. You don't want to overdo it, but I like it's kind of got like a rustic kind of look to it, so I really like that one. So then we can just trim this one. You can use a paper trimmer or you can use your scissors. It's whatever works for you. I'm just going to use my scissors. Cut right on the edge. There we go. Okay, so that is our little sentiment as well. So, getting back to the construction of the card, because it doesn't really take that long. It takes a lot longer to show you how to do it than it does to actually do it. So the construction of the card is this. We get our, whoop, hang on, I already did that part, didn't I? So we've got up to there, we've added our branches, and now we're just going to place, I like to copy the way I've got this placed here because sometimes placement is a bit tricky. And it can look a bit funny if you don't have your placement right. And I think I use two big dimensionals, one up towards the top and one down the bottom, towards the end anyway, let's put it that way. So going on this one, it was kind of a little bit over, and because the branches are a little bit different, so you want to have a little bit of space, just enough. Because you like to have a bit of space in your flow of the card. Well, that's what I like anyway, because you can make a card look really busy. And I used to be notorious at making busy-looking cards, and I'm now down to clean and simple, which I really like. But that's because I've learnt. And you learn as you go. So again, just popping this one sort of just on top of the other one, but down a bit further, just to give it that continued flow-looking thing. And this little one, our sentiment here, I have used the small dimensionals, and I need my pick tool. I think I put 4 little ones on there, just so we can give it some height. It's not a very large sentiment, which is perfect. If you're going to do a large, well, my preference, if you're going to do a large sentiment, the whole design is going to be about the large sentiment per se. So if you've got another design that's just typically quite busy, you just want a little sentiment. But you certainly, in my opinion, you do need a sentiment. So again, we're just going to place this with a little bit of space on either side, or all around it really, and hopefully that's straight. Okay, so there's your card front, which is gorgeous, isn't it? Okay, and the next thing we'll do, we'll add some blingy bits because we can. Got to add bling, in my opinion. Yes, so I've used our gemstones, and don't forget, I will include everything down the bottom. If you hit show more, it will drop down all the stuff that I've used in this design, so you'll be able to just click in and go into the shop and you can purchase it. So have no worries about that, you can do that. So I've used the big ones, and no, I haven't used the big ones, I've used the medium ones. Tell me I've used them all. Oh no, it's all right. Whew. So I've used there's small ones and there's medium ones. Well, these are medium, I think. So again, I'm just using what I was running out of. I was running out of these tiny little ones, and these little ones are really good because they put bits and pieces into perspective on your design. So I like to use those ones as well. So I put 3 of those, and then I use the little bitty ones just to and I've only got 2. And when I was doing this, I did notice that I only had 2. So I thought to myself, oh, I have to stop. So then I put a couple of the bigger moonstones there, which is, I've got to get some smaller ones. These are really good. I love them. So I put one there. And one more. Let me see. I'm out there, I think. There we go. Okay. So there's your whimsical looking Christmas card. Isn't it adorable? It's so pretty. I know I'd be pretty impressed getting one of these. So the next part is just adding it to your card front. So that's the best way to actually do it, is to actually do it all before you add it to the front of your card. Unless you're, I mean, you can do it whichever way you want, really. Not going to make that much of a difference, but it's just easier to construct. Because if you do something wrong, you've got to take it all off and it just ruins it, So principally, I think that's how it should be. And we'll just flicker these off. And don't forget to check in the sales. Oh, well, if these are on sale, it will show anyway, because we are having a lot of sales at the moment for this product. So it will click on it, and when you click on it, it will come in, you'll see it. So you won't be duped. Just got a little bit of something there, which I don't like. Just use my carving. Sometimes you get little bits of sticky and dirt and bits and pieces. One of these tools is kind of really good because it really does get rid of all the little bits and pieces that you end up with, and because we all end up with something. Okay, so put this into position, and there you have it. Ta-da! A beautiful, beautiful Christmas card. And of course you can pop one of our envelopes. Have I got an envelope? I've only got, oh hang on, I might have. No, they're small white ones. Maybe I've got a big white one. Yes, here we go. So, of course, if you wanted to, you could stamp the front of it with one of these little icons, if you wanted to. But you can pop it into an envelope and post it off to your bestie. So, there you go. Thank you very much for joining me for today's tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. Please do like, share, subscribe. I appreciate it. I also appreciate all your business. So anything you need, just click down on the bottom and you will go straight into the shop and purchase it, and it will be posted out to you very, very quickly, normally within 48 hours, although it is Christmas and it is rather busy these days, guys. So, it's a mad rush. So, yeah, all good. Thanks for joining me. Take care, and I will see you soon with a new project. Bye for now.